Morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha is Parshas Boi, and at the second part of the parsha, once the three plagues were presented, so what happens is now the Jewish people are getting ready to go out of Egypt. So towards the end, Hashem tells Moshe to tell the Yidden the Ba'asal HaChodesh, 10th day of the month. They left the 14th. So the 10th day of the month, the Yichul Lahem each say, each person should take or a group should take a lamb to their house, tie it to your bed, and keep a watcher for 4 days to make sure everything's okay. Then you're going to offer it as a paschal sacrifice. That was one. And two, in order to participate in the paschal sacrifice, you have to be circumcised. And then for the plague of the firstborn, you're going to take the blood of the paschal sacrifice. You're going to take blood from the circumcision. You're going to smear it around the doors, the doorposts of the house, and that will serve as a protection that the angel of death will not go into the houses of the Jews or where the Jewish firstborns are. So the question is asked, why was it necessary to have these mitzvahs? So the Medrash says, Rashi brings down from Medrash, in the name of Ramasya ben Chorosh, that HaKadosh Baruch Hashem said, it came the time that I should fulfill the promise to Abraham to take his children out of Egypt, but they do not have mitzvahs. They don't have credit to be taken out. They're empty. They're running on empty. And what are they better than everybody else? What are they better than the Egyptians? They both serve idol worship. The Egyptians believe in it. The Jews got swallowed into it. They became part of their reality, part of their, that's where they are. That's where they're living. So Hashem gave them two mitzvahs that they should be considered, that they have commandments, they have mitzvahs. What were the mitzvahs? As we just said, Dam Pesach and Dam Milah, the circumcision and the paschal sacrifice. They both have to do with blood. So why did Hashem choose these two mitzvahs? Why not any other two mitzvahs? Why two? Why is one not enough? What do these two mitzvahs represent? So it's explained, these two mitzvahs represent and fix and express the lack of what they had till now, which was, first of all, they did not have any mitzvahs. They didn't have any mitzvahs, so they had no connection to Hashem directly or on that type of level. So, by them performing the mitzvah of bris, circumcision, they're making a stamp, they're making a constant bond between them and Hashem, so now they're connected to Hashem. But we still don't know if they believe in something else. Could be they believe in this, they believe in that. You could have somebody who believes in everything. Whatever you want, I'll believe, as long as it makes you happy, right? So now comes the second part. The Egyptians believed in the holy goat. There's the holy cow in India. The Egyptians have the holy goat. So what happened was they took that lamb, that goat, and they put it inside their house. And the Egyptians said, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? They said, listen, we're going to slaughter it in 4 days. And they were scared because the Egyptians could go crazy. They could explode. It could become a whole riot. But they did it, and this proved that they believed in Hashem. They didn't believe in that. This is the explanation that's given. Now, there's an interesting insight. It says, it's brought down, mitzvah, schar mitzvah b'hai al maleka. There is no reward to a mitzvah in this world. There's a quote. What does that mean? Think about it. What's a mitzvah? That you connected with God. You tapped into infinity. To receive reward for that, this world cannot handle it. The real, true reward that you deserve after doing a mitzvah, this world can't handle it. So what do these two mitzvahs represent? How are you getting a reward to get out when the reward doesn't work with the mitzvahs? So it says, look at it this way. There are certain things that if you do not do them, a person will get punished in this world. I don't mean punished as punished. I mean there's a response that the Torah says that the person gets spiritually cut off. It's called kares. If a person does not circumcise himself, he is spiritually cut off. Kares. If a person does not fulfill the mitzvah of Karban Pesach, he is spiritually cut off. That's why you have a second chance, just in case, because it's not a simple thing. So that, if you don't do it, something will happen to you. Oh, so if you do it, it's not the reward right now, but it's the lack of not doing it, that you are doing it. So just like there is a sort of, to speak, punishment in this world, there's also a reward that comes to it also. In addition to the regular reward that a mitzvah has, there's also a little extra here. Just like you get extra punishment if you don't do it, there is the response of that on the positive if you do it. That's one explanation that's given, which is a nice thing to see how these two mitzvahs are kind of different than other mitzvahs. That's one. But two, these two mitzvahs really represent, every mitzvah is tzavs v'chiva. You're connecting to God. You're making a connection. Mitzvah is connection. That's the real translation of the word mitzvah. So here, these two mitzvahs really represent connection. There is one that's sur me'ra, going away from the bad, and one's aseh toiv. Sur me'ra, I'm separating myself from the Egyptian god, the Egyptian idol worship. I'm not any shape or form connected with this goat that I serve it. I'm taking it, I'm putting it by my bed. We're going to shecht it. We're going to have a good barbecue in 4 days. So I'm separated from that stuff. When it comes to bris, when it comes to circumcision, this is a connection that a person has with God 24/7, 365 a year. So this is something that is a connection. They're separating from the bad, connecting to good. It's not about the mitzvah, of the reward of the mitzvah. It's about the action of what the mitzvah represents when the person is doing it. So these are two mitzvahs that Hashem gave us then, and Hashem should help that we should be able to fulfill both mitzvahs in its full completion with the coming of Mashiach. What does that mean? What does that mean? It says before Mashiach comes, God is going to give us a bris. He's going to circumcise our hearts, because our heart is like a stone. We don't really feel anymore. But it says when Mashiach comes, Hashem's going to eradicate the negativity. So the negative that we have that's holding us back from feeling what we're supposed to be feeling, will have a bris, a spiritual bris, and we'll be able to fulfill the Karban Pesach, the Karban Mamish. Amen.